Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Good evening, I'm Alexander Moore. Thanks for joining us. 4 people are facing charges after an individual was found in a car after overdosing. Police charged 45-year-old Dale Finley, 62-year-old Fred Ray, and 47-year-old John Addis for abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence, and 33-year-old Ricky Witt with trafficking in fentanyl. The investigation is still ongoing. And another former Marietta man will go to prison for beating his 4-year-old infant child. Kyle Williams entered a guilty plea for felonious assault in August 2017. A 3-month-old child was brought to the emergency room with broken bones and extensive bruising. Williams was arrested almost 2 weeks later. Williams required to pay court costs, but does not have to pay a fine. A former Belpre High School soccer coach is facing 20 years in prison for sexual abuse charges. Marietta Times reports Trent Stanley pleaded guilty to 4 charges in Wood County Circuit Court. Prosecutors say Stanley transported a female under 16 years old to his apartment and engaged in sexual intercourse. It happened multiple times in 2017 from October to December. Stanley will have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life, and he is currently in custody at North Central Regional Jail in Doddridge County. Belpre City Council is considering soft billing for emergency and non-emergency services by the fire department. The ordinance was passed unanimously for the first reading. Marietta Times reports City Law Director Tom Webster says the bills would only be the amount the insurance company would pay. If a person doesn't have insurance, they will not receive a bill. The money will go into the city's general fund. Over 90 Airbnb hosts in Athens County are not paying the necessary lodging tax to remain open. In 2016, Athens City Council approved regulations covering bed and breakfasts, which include Airbnbs. The lodging tax rate in Athens County is 3%. The Athens Messenger reports the Athens County Commissioners agreed to send a letter to Airbnb hosts asking them to pay up. Thousands in Washington County are voting through absentee ballots. Washington County Board of Elections has sent over 5,000 absentee ballots, and Washington County now has early voting hours too. These are the hours it is open. And in-person absentee voting is now open in Kentucky. Kentucky Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes says eligible voters can cast an absentee ballot in person at their local county clerk's office. Voters who don't qualify to cast an absentee ballot in person might be eligible to cast one by mail. Applications for mail-in ballots are due by October 30th.
Good evening. What a beautiful fall day today in Athens. Maybe a little bit chilly, but it sure was nice. Right now it's 54 degrees and sunny, and we are seeing the rest of the evening to be looking pretty nice today. Around the region, we're seeing temperatures in the mid-50s, 54 in Athens, 53 in New Lexington, 55 in Chillicothe. However, we're going to see these comfortable temperatures take a steep drop tonight, near freezing temperatures. 9 o'clock tonight, it's going to be 45 degrees and clear. Now, midnight, it'll be 42 degrees and clear. And as we near the morning hours, 5 a.m., it's going to be 37 degrees, and it'll still be clear, but we are going to have a cold morning tomorrow. Now, we do have some rain chances later on this week, and I'll have all of those details for you later on in the full forecast.
Thanks, Taylor. A judge is ordering the West Virginia Attorney General to release correspondence with opioid manufacturers. U.S. Senate candidate Patrick Morrissey used to lobby for Sunovion Pharmaceuticals in an industry trade group. Charleston Gazette-Mail reports Judge Carrie Webster says Morrissey has a blatant disregard of state public law records. A Kentucky school district superintendent says he wants criminal charges filed against a teacher who dragged an autistic student. Security video shows the teacher and a nurse trying to get the boy to leave a gymnasium at Tate's Creek Middle School. The teacher then dragged him through the hallways. The Lexington Herald Leader reports Fayette Superintendent Manny Culk also wants an overhaul to the process by which teachers are disciplined. The teacher is no longer working for the district.
Stop grabbing!
by a neighborhood on Para Avenue shows 2 Akron police officers struggling with an arrest. The police used a taser on Patrick King several times. During the video, he can be heard moaning and saying he couldn't breathe. Another officer can be seen repeatedly punching King when he was on the ground. Deputy Chief Jeffrey Leeser says the video doesn't tell the whole story. King was questioned after leaving a known drug house and then lied to the police about his identity.
The subject is 6'4", 220 pounds. He weighs more and is taller and bigger than both the officers that were on scene. And now he had a weapon, that being one handcuff.
Leeser says King thrashed and officers were winded. It took about 6 officers to finally get him under control. Leeser understands the video looks disturbing and says the officers will be reviewed internally. The Euclid police officer was fired after a violent arrest. Will be back on the streets. Amanda Van Allen reports on the viral case.
Richard Hubbard thinks about this day all the time. He's the one on the ground being punched repeatedly. The Euclid police officer on top of him is Patrolman Michael Amiot.
Well, I know I'm still going through therapy, so I think I'm gonna have longer sessions now. So, 'cause I'm still trying to get back to driving.
Hubbard's girlfriend drives him most places because he's scared to get back on the road.
Do not take it one day at a time. It's just hard. But we are strong and we will make it through.
Officer Amiot was fired after this video surfaced last October. But as of Monday, he has his job back. That's because the union appealed the city's decision and an independent arbitrator sided with the officer.
How can you go through the whole process of just firing an officer and give him his job back?
The mayor of Euclid took decisive action and expelled this roguish, unfit police officer. And yet here we are with these unelected officials, these sycophants, these bootlicking sycophants, who are the enemies of justice.
The Euclid mayor weighing in with a statement. I believe that Patrolman Amiot's termination was warranted, but the union exercised their right to appeal the discipline. While I am disappointed by the decision, I respect the arbitration process and accept the ruling. The union also released a statement. We expect that Officer Amiot will do his best to serve the community upon his return, but Hubbard says Amiot's return will be devastating.
Y'all just put him back on the streets, that's making me scared.
That was Amanda Van Allen reporting. The University of Cincinnati's current student body president is making history. UC senior Sinna Habataselassie is the first black woman to hold the position. The 22-year-old majors in neuroscience. She ran on a platform centered on improving student health. That she credits a strong network of women for encouraging her to run for office. Coming up, President Trump is traveling across the country to rally before midterms, even though he's not on the ballot. How he thinks he can make a difference. Plus, Ohio University is celebrating a major Indian holiday a little early. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
Fast. But don't get bored on us mid-season now. The playoff picture is starting to develop, and every game that we bring you will have playoff implications. Right now is one of the most exciting times of the fall. Which means you can't afford to miss Friday nights with us. Live at 11:30, Gridiron Glory is here for you. And check out our Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages all throughout the week. They're chock full of coverage. So start your weekends with us. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights in Gridiron Glory.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
I'm such a huge fan of PBS. For my entire life, it's been our window into a world of the arts that isn't available anywhere else on TV. We learn about our numbers and our letters and singing through music, through the incredible children's programming they have. And then we grow up and we get to see the world of the arts, whether it's ballet or opera or Broadway, and so many other amazing moments that you wouldn't get anywhere else except for PBS.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell its story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
President Trump's name is not on the ballot in the upcoming midterm, but you wouldn't know that by the campaign rallies he's been holding. Jeff Zeleny reports on how he's firing up base for Election Day.
President Trump knows the November election is all about him. He worries his supporters do not.
Pretend I'm on the ballot. I'm not on the ticket, but I am on the ticket.
2 weeks before Election Day, a new air of uncertainty hangs over the 2018 campaign, revolving almost entirely around the Trump factor.
A vote for me, me. Make America great again.
While most presidents distance themselves from midterm elections to avoid nationalizing the races, Trump is doing the opposite. He's all in, firing up loyal supporters and fierce critics alike. A month ago, the president was all but resigned Republicans would lose the House, CNN has learned. But now he increasingly believes he can awaken the Trump coalition to stop or slow a Democratic wave.
You know, I think that blue wave is being rapidly shattered.
The rally in Houston is the president's 29th of the year. He's far more likely to visit red states filled with loyal admirers, rather than running the risk of firing up Democrats or independent voters in swing states.
A map of his travels shows where he is and isn't welcome, like Deep Red, Montana, where he staged 3 rallies to try and defeat Democratic Senator John Tester in a race even most Republicans see as no easy task. Yet he's all but steering clear of Florida, holding no big rallies so far this fall. Governor Rick Scott, who's locked in a tight race to unseat Democratic Senator Bill Nelson, has asked Trump to stay away, a GOP official told CNN. His itinerary is far different than on his victory tour after the 2016 election, as he thanked voters in places he turned from blue to red. Statewide GOP candidates are trailing in most of those new Trump states, like Pennsylvania and Ohio, Michigan and Wisconsin. But Republicans are likely to keep control of the Senate because of the blessing of geography, from red state races like Tennessee, where a Trump visit lingers long after he leaves because of TV ads blasting the Democratic candidate.
Phil, whatever the hell his name is, this guy will 100% vote against us every single time.
Across the country, the president appears in nearly 20% of all political ads. So far this year, at least $55 million has been spent on pro-Trump ads and $61 million on anti-Trump ads in the top 100 House and Senate races. The midterm election campaign has solidified Trump as the undisputable leader of the Republican Party. Even old rivals like Ted Cruz have long embraced him and now depend on Trump to fire up his coalition.
I think it energizes people. I think it's going to help drive turnout, and this election is a turnout election.
One GOP congressman told CNN Trump is the only person who still believes he can save the House for Republicans. A special early celebration at Ohio University includes music, dance, and food. That story's still ahead.
And there is rain in the forecast. Find out if it will affect your weekend plans in the 7-day forecast coming up next on Newswatch. But first, here's a look at your stocks of local interest.
Member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at woub.org. And thank you.
I love PBS because at the heart of everything PBS does is education.
I use PBS not only in my home, but also in my classroom.
It's kind of the idea of being the great equalizer for learning and for education.
I'm a lifelong learner, and PBS has always been part of that journey for me.
I love PBS because PBS supports teachers.
They know what works for kids and what's best for kids, and that's why I love PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Good evening. It sure was a beautiful day today in Athens. Now, if you get the chance after dinner, you may want to head outside and go for a walk. It's going to be the perfect chance to do that tonight. 54 degrees and mostly sunny. Comfortable evening for the rest of the evening tonight. Calm winds at 3 miles per hour. A great fall day we had today. Enjoy it. Around the region, we're seeing temperatures in the mid-50s. 54 in Athens, 58 in Ripley, 58 in Ironton as well. Now let's take a look at our evening tonight. As we can see, we had our high today of 60 and low of 34. Now this is not too far off from our average high of 63, low of 39. We've got our record temperatures in 1986, high of 78 degrees, and a record low of 20 in 1982. We're not quite to that cold yet, but we are well on our way. As we can see, overnight we're going to see these temperatures drop down to near freezing. 9 o'clock, we're going to see things at 45 degrees, and we'll be clear throughout the evening, but we're going to make that steep drop overnight. 37 degrees here at 5 a.m. It'll make for a cold morning tomorrow, and you want to prepare for that. Sending the kids off to school, it is coat time. Make sure they've got them ready. You want to make sure you have your coat with you, hats and gloves, everything, because it's starting to feel more like winter weather, nearing freezing temperatures. It's going to be a cold start, although we will warm up throughout the day as we see the sun come out, and it'll feel pretty nice again. So as we can see, precip-wise, it's looking pretty nice. We're good to go for today and tomorrow. Now we do have some chances of rain later on in the week, but tomorrow you're clear. We shouldn't see any precip tomorrow. Now taking a look at the day tomorrow, starting out cold like we said, 37 degrees at 9 a.m. Clear and sunny all day long though, so it is going to be a nice day tomorrow. Get outside while you can and enjoy it. Noon around lunchtime, it's going to be 46 degrees. We're warming up from those cooler temperatures in the morning. 4 o'clock when you're coming home from work, it's going to be 50, and it'll feel like a nice fall day. However, looking at our weekend, Friday night football has not had too much luck with the rain. We have a 70% chance of rain at kickoff this Friday, so bring your umbrella to those football games and make sure you're prepared. 41 degrees at kickoff. Saturday day, we also have a 50% chance of rain, so if you had any outdoor activities for your fall weekend, I might rethink and maybe do something indoors like a movie this weekend. As we can see, the rest of the week is looking pretty nice. Temperatures in the 50s for the highs. Tomorrow and Thursday are looking clear before we see some rain chances Friday. That's when it's going to begin in the afternoon, and it's going to linger throughout the rest of the week. And we are going to see those chances continue over the weekend and into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So make sure you get your umbrellas out soon because the rain is coming.
Thanks, Taylor. In a couple of weeks, Indian Hindus all around the world will celebrate one of the most important festivals of the year, Diwali, the Festival of Lights. But here in Athens, Diwali celebrations have come early. WOUB reporter Connor Kurek has more on this year's celebration and the meaning of Diwali.
Musical performances, dancing, and delicious food are parts of Diwali 2018. President of the Indian Student Association, Pratik Kulkarni, says it makes him feel closer to home.
So we are away from home, away from India, so definitely, as I said, we all meet together, have a good time.
But Diwali represents more than just a good time and a family reunion. It celebrates victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. The ISA is using this year's event to spread knowledge of the world's water crisis.
Children in 100 million homes in India lack water.
India's 4 major rivers are essential to life in the country. ISA highlighted each river's significance, why they're worshipped, and how their pollution has impacted India. The crowd was offered the chance to donate to water conservation efforts Sunday evening. But Sneha Upadhyay, the culture coordinator for ISA, encourages people to act in little ways to help fix the worldwide problem of water shortage and pollution.
In a small way, everyone should put a step forward. It can be very small, starting from your own house, keeping your own house water clean.
Before it was lights out for the festival, members of ISA showed their commitment to Athens by promising to clean local bodies of water. And then followed more excitement, entertainment, and dancing. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Connor Kurek.
The Indian Student Association has been sponsoring this festival at Ohio University for more than 50 years. In India, Diwali typically lasts between 4 to 5 days, and this year it falls on November 7th.
Hi there, I'm Brian Kerp. Ohio football prepares for their first midweek game against Ball State. Frank Solich's thoughts on the Cardinals later on. And then after the break, an Ohio volleyball player was named the MAC East Player of the Week for the first time. Find out how breaking an Ohio record helped her get this award. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
A box that showed you. This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
This fall is going fast, but don't get bored on us mid-season now. The playoff picture is starting to develop, and every game that we bring you will have playoff implications. Right now is one of the most exciting times of the fall.
Which means you can't afford to miss Friday nights with us. Live at 11:30, Gridiron Glory is here for you.
And check out our Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages all throughout the week. They're chock full of coverage.
So start your weekends with us. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights in Gridiron Glory.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Brian Kerp. Ohio volleyball's fifth-year senior Jamie Kasork was named the MAC East Division Offensive Player of the Week. Last Friday, Kasork broke the program record for service aces in a career with her 163rd ace. On Saturday, she had a .340 hit percentage with a season-high 24 kills. She had double-digit kill and dig totals both nights. This recognition is the first weekly conference award she has earned in her career. Kasork was not the only Ohio athlete to earn conference recognition. Ohio football's Nathan Rourke was named the MAC Player of the Week after a strong performance against Bowling Green. Reporter Russ Heltman has the story.
Another game, another Mid-American Conference Player of the Week award for Ohio quarterback Nathan Rourke. Air Canada led the Ohio Bobcats to a dominant 49-14 homecoming victory over the Bowling Green Falcons. Rourke turned in arguably his most efficient performance as a Bobcat, completing 8 of 12 attempts for 194 yards and a career-high 4 passing touchdowns. The junior's 76-yard strike to Poppy White was the longest completion of his career. Rourke also turned in a stellar ground performance as well, carrying the rock 10 times for 101 yards and another score. The statistical and emotional leader of the Ohio offense has now won 3 MAC East Player of the Week awards in 2018, and in large part due to his improvement through the air. Rourke is completing 61% of his passes, up from 55% last year, and he leads the Mid-American Conference in passing efficiency as well. Ohio is still looking up at the 7-1 Buffalo Bulls in the MAC standings, but they get a chance to close the gap when Ball State rolls into Peden Stadium for the annual blackout game this Thursday night. For WOUB Sports, I'm Russ Heltman.
Rourke and the Bobcats now have to prepare for the game against Ball State this Thursday. Head coach Frank Solich talks about what the Bobcats should expect from the Cardinals.
Not playing sound football, you know, they're gonna hurt you. They're gonna put points on the board. And then their defense is very, very aggressive, really good tacklers, and so they got a good combination of things.
The high school football regular season is nearing an end, and teams are hoping to secure their playoff spots this week. There are a few teams in Gridiron Glory's coverage area that received votes in this week's AP Ohio poll. In Division III, the 8-1 Sheridan Generals are ranked number 5. The Hillsboro Indians have 24 votes, and the TVC Ohio's Athens Bulldogs received 12 votes. Hillsboro and Athens are not ranked in Division 7. In Division 7, the Trimble Tomcats are currently ranked at number 10 and received 44 votes. The grounds crew is getting ready at Fenway Park for Game 1 of the World Series tonight. The Red Sox and Dodgers face each other in the World Series for the first time since 1916. First pitch from Boston is scheduled for 8 o'clock. I'm Brian Kerp, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Alexander.
Thanks, Brian. The odds of winning the Mega Millions jackpot is 1 in 300 million. And while chances are slim, there's still no shortage of hopeful players. The Mega Millions is at $1.6 billion. It's the largest prize in U.S. lottery history. No one has won the Mega Millions jackpot since July 24th, when a group of 11 workers in California split $543 million. There are 9 other level prizes, so multiple millionaires could come from this drawing. Taylor, will you be joining the millions going for the prize?
I might be. Let's check out the one last look at our weather for this weekend. Friday night lights, we aren't looking too good. We've got an 70% chance of rain, at kickoff, 41 degrees and scattered showers. But Saturday day, we do have some chances of rain as well on Saturday. 50% chance of rain and some pop-up showers likely on Saturday. But let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Take a look. Tomorrow and Thursday are looking pretty nice. We will have some sunshine and highs in the 50s. And then as we move throughout the weekend, we'll start to see those chances of rain move in. And they're going to be in effect until the early next week. Monday and Tuesday, we'll also see some rain. So enjoy the sunshine tomorrow and Thursday.
Thanks, Taylor. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Alexander Moore, and stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.